Okay, so we're nearly at the end of the HTML section where we're going to be doing our big HTML project. But before we do that, there's one thing I want to show you. That is including content from other sites in yours using IFrames. And it's actually really easy. So first off, let's say, for example, we wanted to include the Google homepage for some reason in our web page. All we do is create an iframe, and then we set the src, so just the same as with an image, to whatever we want to use. And this time I'll use everyone's favorite web hosting site, ecowebhosting.co.uk. I'm actually using that because Google blocks iframe usage. If you try and put Google in there, it won't work. But if we do it with ecowebhosting, it should work fine. And there we go. You can see we've got the page in there. It's obviously in a small box at the moment, but we could change the size of that with CSS later on. And you can interact with that website just in the normal way, just clicking on links, etc. All right, so that's a basic iframe. We can also, if we want, put content from our own website in there. So you'll remember this is an absolute link because it's got the HTTP at the front, but we could add a relative link as well. So if we go back to our helloworld.html, then you can see we get the content from that page as well. So this might not look like something you want to do regularly, put a whole homepage or a different page in your site, but it actually can be really useful if you want to use a translation service, for example, to translate words on your site. You could use an iframe to get the data from that site and display it on your web page. One other very common use for iframes is including videos and embedding other media in your website. And that is why you might have noticed I've got this great song from Bryan Adams up on YouTube. It's not because I've been listening to it in between making videos. It's because when we go to any video on YouTube and click the share button, the arrow there, the second option along is embed. And then that gives you some code, which you'll notice is an iframe code. So I'm going to select all of that using Command A or Control A on a PC, copy it to the clipboard using Command C or Control C, and then paste it in right underneath the code that we've got there. So that's some iframe code in the wild. You can see we've got some extra attributes there. We've got a width and height setting, so that's the number of pixels wide and number of pixels high. And we've also got a frame border equals 0 setting, which you're welcome to try out on these ones. In fact, let's just pop it on there to have a look. And as you can imagine, that will get rid of the frame border. And now we have a YouTube video right there in our page. And we can even listen to it right there if we want to. There we go. Exciting stuff. All right, so congratulations, you've made it to the end of the first section of the Complete Web Developer course. You've learned how web pages are put together with HTML, with headers and body tags. You've learned about paragraphs, formatting text, lists, images, forms, tables, links, HTML entities, and then finally iframes. That's a lot of new information. And as I said at the beginning of the section, the best way to keep this new information in your head is practice it as often as you possibly can. So we're going to start that in the next video by giving you a challenge to put all of this together and make a fantastic first ever complete web page.